Hello and welcome to an all-new episode of Cinetroverts, the only show where going out and interacting with people is frowned upon. I'm your host, returning Mondo, and with me is...
Tabitha.
Hello, I missed you last week.
I missed you.
Yes, well, as you know, I wasn't here last week. Tabitha's good friend Natalie filled in, and that was a fun episode. I got to listen to it the other day.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah, I'm glad you
We had
enjoyed
fun doing it.
Yeah, did you enjoy Girl Talk, I was going to say?
Oh,
I mean, it was movie talk.
Girl talk.
It was lady movie talk.
Lady movie talk.
Yeah, and I'm glad you guys weren't talking about like the piano.
Okay, first of all, the piano's awesome. So I don't know what your problem is.
Thought Miramax only made touchy-feely movies like The Crying Game, the piano and shit. Anyway,
You're just jealous because a certain organ in that movie put yours to shame.
Harvey Keitel's Full Rod. Yeah, so guys, I'm gonna do a real quick story. I was in LA last week. I surprised my mother for Mother's Day, and while I was out there. I took my sister to the Ontario Improv over at Ontario Mills Mall, and we did an evening with Kevin Smith, who I got to embrace and make jokes with and have a little back and forth banter. And
did you touch beards?
We touched beards for like a second. We hugged. No, we did a Q&A with Kevin Smith. I got to ask a question and I told him I wanted to get a picture with him because I took one when I first met him back in 2006, 2004, 2006, something like that, somewhere around there. And it was on a really shitty flip phone, and it's all grainy, and you could hardly see both of us. And I was
but you still sleep with it under your pillow.
Yeah, I do. But no, it's like, I need to get a picture with Kevin Smith, man. Like, it has to happen. So it's on my bucket list. So I asked him a question and said, you can tell me to piss off if you want, but it's on my bucket list to get a photo with you. I'm wearing my blunt man hat, which is if you're not familiar, you should be. It's a black ball cap with bat ears on it. But anyway, I was wearing it, and I was like, it's on my bucket list to get a picture with you. If I can get one after, great. If you tell me to piss off, that's cool too. I get it. He's like, no, man. He's had another question. He says, well, ask your question while I'm answering it. Come up on stage. We'll do it right now. I'm like, oh my god! And the crowd was cool, and people weren't like, shut up, ask your question. Blah, blah, blah. Everyone was super cool. Kevin was awesome. We chatted a bit for like a second, and he pulled me in for an embrace. So that was awesome, and our beards touched in my mind. But yeah, it was fun. Did you miss me while I was gone?
Oh, so much.
Well, you're lying.
What are you talking
You
about?
lied to me.
No, I missed you.
Oh, whatever.
No, I totally did.
Whatever. But yeah, well, I'm glad you guys are back with us, and it feels good. It feels good to do the show. I was really kind of getting a little bummed out, and I was like, I'm not recording, but I'm sure they're doing fine without me. But
we don't need you.
You don't need me. But let's go ahead and jump into this week's coming releases, because I know I was able to do it last week. I should have put together a list for you, and I didn't, so my bad.
Yeah, my bad. I sucked at that.
But so this week, coming up, today is the 20th, May 20th. Mm-hmm. So by the time this goes on, it'll be past Tuesday, which is release day, so you'll be able to catch all the new releases, which are this upcoming week. Or at least you can get these right now on Prime pay-per-view on demand. The Shack, some kind of spiritual movie about a shack.
Oh, God. That movie looked hilarious in all the wrong ways.
So, The Shack, Get Out, which will hit Blu-ray this week.
Great movie.
Amazing. I'm sure we're definitely going to talk about that. My friend Drew will probably end up being a guest on the show at some point soon. We'll get into that later, but he did the orchestration for the film as well as a lot of other movies.
Nice.
He's a really good friend, loves movies. He is kind of a introvert, but he's definitely a cinephile. But we are going to line up some guests to join the show because I liked having Natalie on, and I want to bring her back, and I want to bring on other people too. And it'd be cool to talk to people that work in the industry, that go out and venture out into the world and work in the industry versus us who just watch movies and wish we were part of the industry.
Right.
So, so it'd be cool to talk to him. But anyway, Get Out. Logan will be coming out this week on DVD and Blu-ray, which I'm definitely picking up as well. I love that movie. Batman Lego Movie. definitely ending up on my top 10 this year. Batman Lego Movie is so much fun. It's so great. But those will be coming out soon, and you can, if you don't want to wait till Tuesday, get them right now. Go on Amazon and order them now on demand. Pretty great. Amazon Prime dropped a whole bunch of stuff, man. It's really cool. Trilogy of Terror.
Yes, Trilogy of Terror is great.
Dark Blue. If you haven't seen Dark Blue, it's a pretty cool cop thriller with Scott Speedman, Kurt Russell, Ving Rhames. It is set, it's like a police corruption type movie set in the early 90s with the LA riots as a backdrop.
Oh, interesting. I
So,
actually have not seen Dark Blue.
so we can watch that. It's on Prime.
Okay.
So it's a pretty cool movie. Kurt Russell's awesome as he is in everything. Kurt Russell's he's been in bad movies, but he's never given a bad performance, I think.
This is true.
So anyway, Eli Roth's directorial debut, Cabin Fever, is on Prime.
Yay.
Quite my favorite Tarantino movie, Jackie Brown,
Yay!
is on Prime. The second feature animated Batman film. First was Mask of the Phantasm, which got a theatrical release. And then Sub-Zero was a sequel. Batman Sub-Zero, which introduces Dr. Freeze. Or Mr. Freeze. That animated feature-length movie is now on Prime. You can watch it. Manchester by the Sea actually came out about a week or two ago, but we couldn't talk about that because I wasn't here. But Manchester by the Sea, Academy Award-winning movie for Best Actor, Academy Award nominee for Best Picture, is now streaming on Prime. So I personally didn't think Casey Affleck deserved it for other reasons, but anyway, I am curious about it, so am probably going to watch it just because I'm curious. But you can watch that now, see what all the buzz was about. Fistful of Dollars got dropped on there. It's a Clint Eastwood movie. Sergio Leone did that, didn't he?
I think so, yeah. One of his westerns, yeah.
Netflix dropped some cool stuff. Some of it is a little older, but some of it just got dropped recently. And we currently have this on mute right now. Enemy of the State.
Yeah.
Tony Scott's Enemy of the State with starring Jack Black and Seth Green.
Yeah, those are the stars.
Barry Pepper.
And Barry Pepper.
Will Smith, Wrong Man movie. It's really cool. I love it.
Yeah, I haven't seen it since I was a kid.
So we got it on mute right now. Pretty cool to watch while we're doing this. I've never seen the show, but you were a fan of it. Sense8.
Yeah, season 2 dropped recently. I haven't gotten to watch it yet. I'm a little busy these days. Well. But I really enjoyed season 1 and the Christmas special that they released in December. So
yeah. I haven't watched it yet. You told me great things about it. I heard great things about it. I just haven't seen it yet. While we're on the subject of original Netflix shows, we got, I know Orange is the New Black season 3, 4, 3, 4? 5?
5. It might even be 5.
Yeah. God, it feels like yesterday the show came out. It's coming up with a new season. I kind of fell off that one, but that's not out yet, but it's coming up soon.
I never did watch that one.
Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt just dropped its 2nd or 3rd season.
I think
it's got new episodes. Yeah, apparently the show is great. I have never seen an episode, but apparently it's really hilarious and awesome. But I have not seen it, so that's on there. That is now on there. Master of None. I love that show. I saw the first season very quickly. I didn't know if there would be a second season. Suddenly they said, hey, they are. Suddenly there was a trailer. Now it's dropped. Master of None, season 2 just dropped on last Friday. And I've already done watching it. I watched it, I think, Friday night. No, I didn't watch it Friday night. I watched Sunday night, Monday night, and that was basically it. I think I finished it. Well, I started it while I was on my trip. I saw the very last episode the day after I got back.
Okay.
To here. I got back home. So, it's pretty great. I love it. Watch it if you are a fan, or if you haven't seen it, check it out. Really good show. It's 12 episodes, 30 minutes. You can binge it fast, like I did. Like, what, you did a whole season in a day and a half? No, it's not as hard because it's 30 minutes.
Oh man, I always get through the new season of Trailer Park Boys in like 2 days, maybe.
It goes like 30 minutes episodes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's like 10 episodes, 30 minutes. It goes pretty fast, yeah.
I'm drinking my chocolate milk. Excuse me while I take a sip.
Yeah, I have not watched that show. So you tell me it's good. I have not watched it. I have not watched Kimmy Schmidt either. I don't know. Something about that show is not grabbing me.
I think you might dig. Excuse me. I think you might dig Master of None.
Yeah.
It's a pretty cool show. It's a comedy. It's also a drama. It's a dramedy.
Dramedy.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
really funny, but then it's really kind of messed up in other parts too. It is kind of to deal with like Aziz's love life, but there's a lot of other things it deals with too, like culture, friendship, and stuff. Set in New York, a modern day. It's pretty great. A lot of random guest stars on the show too. I don't know. It's fun. I really enjoy it. So, but yeah. So that Master of None. By the way, the title. I was always wondering what the title meant, so I looked it up. I was curious. Master of None. I'm like, what does that mean? Why is it called that? It's
because of Jack of all
trades.
Right? Master of None. Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't think about that. I was like, oh, idiot. Jack of all trades, Master of None. I'm like, oh, okay. So I just thought that was interesting. The breakup, Vince Vaughn and Jennifer Aniston breakup movie.
Of one of the few rom-coms that I actually did kind of enjoy.
Yeah, it's a cool movie.
Yeah,
it's really sad though.
It is, but I found it kind of more, I don't want to say realistic, but not kind of realistic toward near the end.
I had never been in a serious relationship when I had seen the movie, or during that time,
well,
or
I was
after.
like 14, so I definitely
Yeah, you definitely did. So I didn't get a lot of that shit. But then like more recently, I think I watched it. What did you know when I watched it? Did I tell you I watched it not long ago?
I don't know.
Like, I don't know, a few months ago? I watched it like, oh, I get it. You know, like, I get it.
She's terrible.
Well, he's too, like both. Like,
No, I was kidding.
oh, okay.
No, I agree. No, he's pretty.
Oh, you meant like you? Like,
Yeah.
Oh, like, oh, well, yeah.
No, in that movie, it's both their faults, but I kind of
It
feel
is.
like it's more his fault.
It is. It is. But either one of them could have cleared it up at any time.
That's true. That is true. You're right. She could have said, "I didn't mean it. I was upset," but she had to stick with it.
Yeah. Oh God, excuse me. Oh God, excuse me. Sorry. Forrest Gump. Forrest Gump. Forrest Gump. Forrest Gump is, I don't know if that was recent or not, but I just noticed. I'm like, well, Forrest Gump's on Netflix? When did that happen? They play it on AMC so much. I always see it on TV.
Right? You're constantly playing that on TV.
Tracy Morgan has a brand new stand-up special. So, Tracy Morgan's awesome. Check that out. I don't know. That's my really bad Tracy Morgan. Lastly, a horror movie got dropped, which I want to talk about for just like a second. Clown. Eli Roth presents Clown. Now, I want to tell the background on the story because a lot of people don't know about this. If you're a hardcore horror fan, you may have heard it. These guys had this idea for this movie, Clown. The idea was this guy puts on a clown costume for someone's birthday. Like he finds it or comes across this old clown costume. He puts it on, and then it sticks to him. Kind of like that episode of Goosebumps, like the haunted mask.
I was just going to say, like the mask and Goosebumps.
So he puts the rubber nose on, the wig, and the clown costume.
Uh-huh.
It like attaches itself to his skin. It becomes part of his hair. The nose becomes attached to his real nose.
Uh-huh.
And he starts literally transforming into a clown.
That's interesting.
And then the more he transforms, he starts to become like cannibalistic for kids and all kinds of shit. It's
because naturally all
movie.
clowns just
yeah, right. It's just playing on that. It's a really original idea. Now these guys made a pitch trailer for this movie. They shot a trailer. They shot enough footage to make a trailer, a sizzle reel, and they started sending it out. And they attached Eli Roth's name to it. He was like, "We love Eli Roth. This would be something he'd make." So they attached his name to it. Now, Eli Roth had never met these guys.
I was going to say, you probably shouldn't do that without someone's permission.
Eli Roth had never met these guys. Mm-hmm. And they started going around, and then I guess they caught wind of it. And they're like, well, I guess he was saying, like, you should sue him, or at least the filmmakers were told, take your name off it. You know, take his name off it. Because, you know, that's infringement, this, that, and the other. And, like, that's infringement, whatever, or I don't know, basically. But they were like, we'll be taken seriously if Eli Roth's name is attached to it. We'll get money. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, that was their train of thought. But clearly, it's a bad idea. Clearly, it shouldn't work. But oddly, it worked. Eli Roth caught wind of it. He's like, you guys probably shouldn't have put my name on this, but this is a pretty cool idea. And I don't know how much he assisted, but they did get funding. They did get the film made. They did get to make the film. Eli Roth did produce it.
Huh.
So I just think that's a cool story.
It is a cool story,
Yeah.
but normally I would assume a story like that doesn't have a happy ending.
Yeah, normally it wouldn't.
Right.
This day and age where anyone sues for anything, when in this case someone has a reason for suing.
Right.
But, yeah, I thought that was interesting. So I wanted to share that little anecdote.
That is interesting.
But yeah. But let's go ahead and dive into what we watched this week, and then we can segue into our topic this week. Tabitha, what'd you watch? What have you been watching? Since we didn't talk last week either.
I pretty much just what you and I have watched together is the only new things that I've watched. We watched you showed me a movie called Judgment Night.
Oh crap, we did watch that, didn't we?
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
So Judgment Night, Emilio Estevez, Cuba Gooding Jr., Stephen Dwarf, Jeremy Piven, Dennis Leary, Peter Green.
Yes, that is correct.
Well, no, people haven't seen it yet.
It's so it was about these guys in Chicago. They're going to like a fight, a wrestling.
You're going to
match
a boxing match. You're going to a boxing match, yeah.
And they get off the freeway, which if you've seen any movie ever, you know, don't ever get off the freeway. I don't care how much traffic there is. You wait it out, buddy. Plus, they're in a nice size, camper-looking thing. So just stay in the freeway. Anyway, they get off the freeway. They wind up witnessing like a drug lord or something murder a crime boss murder somebody.
They think they hit somebody. They go out. They find a guy on the road and they pull him into their.
It turns out they didn't hit him. He's been shot. Yeah. Dennis Leary's a crime boss. He runs him off the road and shoots the guy. And then he's like, "Oh, witnesses." Kill them too. So the rest of it is them trying to get away from him.
They chase him all over the streets.
Yeah.
Through a railroad yard, through the projects. Like, they're just in the most shit part of Chicago, apparently. The part where he's chasing them through the project, though, is pretty crazy. They have to, kids apparently tied ladders to each other, and they put them across buildings, across a rooftop.
Yeah, so they have to escape at one point.
So they have to crawl across.
By crawling across these ladders.
Yeah, it's pretty intense. It's a cool movie. I dig it.
Yeah, it was funny. I did enjoy it, and I know you enjoy it too, but it just made me laugh the way near the end, you're like, this isn't as great as I remembered it being.
It's 90s cheese, man. 90s cheese is great. Don't knock 90s cheese.
No, it is. It's just funny the way you said that, because you don't normally say that.
Yeah, because I didn't see the movie in a long time. I was really looking forward to getting it, and I brought back almost, well over 100 movies with me when I went to LA, because a lot of my stuff is still there. That was one of the movies I got to bring Judgment Night back. I want to watch it. I want to show it to Tabby, but I just want to watch it in general. And I watched it this isn't as good as I remember. Because it's kind of bad, but I mean, I just enjoy it though. So.
So that was good. And the other thing we watched was a documentary. Oh crap, what was it called? Batman and Bill?
Oh yeah, Bill and Batman.
Bill and Batman.
Yes.
About Bill Finger, the man who co-created Batman, who really
created, but
who was basically written out of history by Bob Kane.
Yes.
And the journey to fight to get his name back on the credit where it belongs.
Yeah, it's on Hulu right now. It's streaming free.
Yeah,
on Hulu.
It's really interesting.
Yeah, it's fascinating and
sad.
Really, really sad. I shed a tear at the end. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, lots of twists and turns in it too.
But if you notice, if you saw Batman vs Superman,
sorry,
for the
first of all, no, I'm kidding.
for the first time, Bill Finger gets an on-screen credit for creating Batman.
Yes,
it says Batman created by Bob Kane and Bill Finger.
Yes,
for the first time, and from now until forever.
It's supposed to be on.
Bill Finger's name will now be on any Batman film or any Batman property.
Yes.
So. Yeah.
Yeah, really interesting.
Awesome.
So what do you got?
Well, I watched a bunch of stuff. So, as I mentioned, I binged Master of None Season 2. Cold Prey. It's like this Norwegian? No, not Norwegian. I don't know. It's Norway, maybe?
Was it Norway? That would be Norwegian.
Yeah, Norwegian. I think it was Norwegian. It's a slasher film set at a ski lodge called Cold Prey. Now, my friends Billy and Shannon were the ones that told me about it, and it's streaming on Shudder right now. So I watched it. Now, this is dubbed, so you didn't have. I mean, I wouldn't have minded the subtitles. I don't mind subtitles, but this was dubbed, so I was like, whatever. But it's a pretty cool slasher flick. Yeah. And there's a little twist at the end that kind of throws everything. It's very quick. It's like the movie's over, and then something happens. It doesn't change the whole course of everything, but it's about the killer's identity. I'm not trying to give anything away. I'm not even going to say what it is. Mm-hmm. But it's a trip. It's like, oh, wow, all right, that's interesting. Why? All right. But it was cool. Check it out. It's on Shudder. I watched that a couple weeks ago. Also on Shudder, I watched Kill List, which is a big cult classic. It's definitely a genre mixer. It's like family drama, hitman drama, and horror film. Kind of strange. It's like a cult movie. It has a bit of Wicker Man in it. It's weird. It's a very strange genre mashup movie. It's interesting. I didn't love it like a lot of other people apparently went gaga over it. It's worth a watch. It's a very interesting film. It's brutal. There's a lot of violence in it. Trippy movie though. So I watched that. I just told Tabitha before we started recording. While I was in LA, I also had a little bit of downtime during the day, and I watched a random movie on Amazon Prime, Drill Bit Taylor with Owen Wilson. Really random to watch. That's not something I normally watch. But I was like, I've always been curious about it, mainly because I don't remember the name used, but it's officially or unofficially John Hughes' last written film. I forget what his what name he went by for writing it, but it wasn't John Hughes. And the script got a little makeover. They kept a lot of stuff, but they got a makeover by Seth Rogen, and Judd Apatow produced it.
Who makes everything better?
Shut up! Oh my god!
Having said that, I love Preacher, by the way.
Oh, Preacher's amazing.
Yeah,
we'll definitely be reviewing that when that comes out. That's season 2 is coming out soon. But I just thought that was kind of just fascinating.
I have seen that movie. It's been a long time. I literally don't remember anything about it besides thinking, that was okay.
Yeah.
That's all I got for that one.
Last night and this morning I watched one episode of Shameless, the new season 7. We have Sling TV. That's how we watch cable and Walking Dead and Better Call Saul, Preacher, and everything else. We have, just like regular cable, we get free preview weekends. And maybe they're doing it because Twin Peaks is starting.
Yes, Twin Peaks is starting Sunday.
Yeah,
so
tomorrow, yeah.
Everyone who can, enjoy it.
So we have Showtime right now, and I saw that Shameless is on there. I'm like, and I love Shameless. So I'm like, oh, wow. So I'm watching that. So I've been watching season 7 of Shameless. I got 5 episodes in. I'm going to try to finish it by tomorrow night, hopefully. I don't know if that's going to happen. But I'm going to try. I'd rather lose sleep than lose free Showtime.
You have different priorities, sir.
I know, apparently. You're like, I'm sleeping. I'm watching TV. So, yeah. But, wow, okay, that was a really long time. I'm sorry that took so long, guys. So let's go ahead and dive into our topic. Now, this week, we're going to talk about one of the greatest movies ever made, folks. And I'm not talking about Citizen Kane.
Well, we talked about that last week.
I know, haters. I don't love Citizen Kane, so I don't really give a shit. Oh, to answer your question, by the way, 2001 Space Odyssey, I think you were inquiring if I like it or not.
Yeah.
I couldn't care less.
Oh, good.
I mean, it's just, I appreciate, I guess, what it did. Like, it's mark on film, I guess. But
the visuals are nice.
Yeah, it's very visually cool. Kubrick didn't know how to shoot, for the most part. Like, his films are visually always interesting to look at.
He did.
But it was really long, and I was just bored. I don't think I've ever seen it all the way through, because I just could not. I couldn't get through it.
Yeah, by about minute 20, when he's just floating through the cosmos or whatever, you're like, alrighty, are we going somewhere with this?
There are some people that are purists and that are hardcore, hard sci-fi fans that are all about it.
And that's fine.
Not knocking that, man. It's
of course not.
Do you, boo. I mean, whatever floats your boat. Different strokes, different folks. But just not for me.
No,
I like more.
Me.
I like more horror, science fiction-ish stuff. But no, I just wasn't into that one. It didn't really do anything for me. But
good.
but yeah, no. But yeah, we are going to talk about a masterpiece in cinema, the first of its kind, and something pretty amazing, ladies and gentlemen. I am talking about Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho.
Yes.
Yes. Psycho is the first Hitchcock movie I ever saw. Psycho is also the movie that made me want to become a filmmaker.
Yeah, I guess it would be the first Hitchcock movie I ever saw.
So that was my impression. What impression did it have on you? What did it do with you?
I think I've told this story on here before, but it traumatized me. Because I was about 6, maybe 7 when I first saw it. And in a way, in retrospect, I'm kind of glad because I didn't know what it was. I didn't know anything about it. Because, these days, by the time I get around to some of these classics, I already know everything about them. So the surprise is gone. Now, I was definitely shocked and terrified at this at age 6 when I'm not paying attention to what's happening on screen. I think I'm watching a boring black and white movie, and all of a sudden the shower scene happens, and I'm like... But I remember say anything. I just sat there and watched the rest of it. I don't know if my soul left my body or what, but I was so scared, but I was also like kind of intrigued. I'm like, well, what happens now? Because I've been following this woman doing whatever she's been doing for 30 minutes, and then it just totally switches gears. And then the ending happened, and I was probably very confused and scared, because I'm like, wait, he was the what? But yeah, 6-year-old me probably shouldn't have watched it, but in a way, I think I experienced it the way that the audience would have the first time, when nobody knew anything about it. So I'm kind of glad.
See, I only know 2 things about Psycho. I knew, just from association, just word of mouth, grapevine, whatever, there was a shower scene, someone gets killed in the shower. Mm-hmm. Because you watch a lot of movies like I did when I was a kid, you obviously hear about that.
Yeah.
And the reference in Mrs. Doubtfire when Robin Williams is putting on a wig when that woman is over at his house, like, doing an investigation. Who is in the remake of Psycho, by the way?
She is. She's his wife.
Yeah.
Periwinkle Blue.
But he, like, puts the wig on with the robe. He's like, oh, Norman Bates. I'm like, what does that mean? I don't get it. Mom, what does that mean? Oh, it's from Psycho. What's Psycho? It's a movie. What kind of movie? It's okay. Mondo, shut up.
Mondo, go away.
Yeah, Mondo, go away. Leave me alone. Let me be. You're the reason your father and I got divorced.
Oh
God. Yeah. So I mean, I didn't know much about Psycho. So when I ended up just wanting to, I remember I rented it from Tower Records. That's how long ago it was. I was 14, and there were Tower Records still around.
I remember they rented it from our local library in Hollinsville.
Yeah, that's the second or third time I saw it was from the library.
Oh, yeah?
I rented it, yeah. I used to rent it a lot. I think at that point the librarian was like, do you just want this movie? Because I rented it like 30 times. Like
Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah.
Like it all that much, it's yours.
But sir!
I insist!
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you very much.
And then they sing a song about you as you walk by.
There goes a fat boy with movies. The same old movies he watches every day. Every morning, just the same.
Oh my God.
The fat boy that he came. What? Anyway, yeah, so I'm going to watch it a lot. And I don't know. I guess we could really go 4 hours, like, just talking about how much we love the movie and how amazing it is. There's so many great things about it. The movie was the first of its kind. It was the first blockbuster. Basically, people consider Jaws the first blockbuster, but Jaws is the first summer blockbuster.
Yeah.
Jaws is the first, like, wide release phenomenon that, I mean, during the summer, whatever. Psycho was the first of its kind. Psycho was a movie that constantly sold out. There were lines around the block.
And it came around at a time when, like, I remember people were worried that film was in trouble because TV was taking over so much. So, like, cinema or movie sales were kind of dropping off.
Right. And
then Psycho came along and it definitely helped with that.
Hitchcock, I guess, was trying to figure out what to do because, his projects weren't going out well. Because, I mean, as amazing as Hitchcock is, his filmography is interesting because he had a lot of hits and misses. All of his films are revered classics because of, it's Hitchcock. But the truth is, his films didn't all do very well at the time. Like, some were great, some weren't as great. Some were hit, some were miss. But he was in a period of time where his movies weren't doing all that well. And I guess it had come up. It's like, well, it's time for him to do something new. And I guess low-budget horror films have been made, and they weren't very good. And I guess his philosophy was, what if someone made one of these low-budget, horrible horror films, but it was good. So he used the crew from Alfred Hitchcock Presents to shoot Psycho. And they made the movie, and there was a lot of things. There were a lot of firsts in that movie. One, I'm sure a lot of people know this already, it was the first movie to ever show a toilet on screen.
Oh my!
That's a big whoa. Showing Janet Leigh in black lingerie. That's something you don't do. You don't wear black lingerie in those movies. Like, it just doesn't happen. Prolonged kissing scenes, which you and I were talking about this earlier. Back then, they didn't want people kissing for more than 2 to 3 seconds. Like, it was wrong. Hitchcock's way around that was to kiss a couple moments and then pull away and still talk when you're nose to nose. And then, keep talking, and one kisses the neck while the other one talks. Like, just how people actually kiss.
Yeah.
So, which I thought was fascinating. That was kind of his, fuck you to the MPAA or whatever. Mm-hmm. And speaking of MPAA, there was a lot of things that that movie went through.
Oh, I can imagine. In 1960, yeah.
Yeah, like the shower scene, people were like, oh, there's one story that I think Hilton A. Green, the assistant director, talked about on the documentary, The Making of Psycho, where he talks about someone watching the movie and then watch the shower scene. He's like, oh, God, turn it off, I can't, oh my gosh. And Hitchcock's like, what was it, Robert? He's like, oh, I saw her breasts, that was too much, no. He's like, there are no breasts. He's like, no, I saw it, I saw way too much, no, we can never watch this movie. He's like, play it back. And they play it again. And then he's like, well, I swore I saw it. I was like, you did not see it. It was in your dirty little mind. So, which I always loved. Like,
Pervert.
And one of my favorite fucking stories is Hitchcock, the MPA saying, Hitchcock, you need to cut these things out of the movie. You trim this down, you need to make these changes. And he had made so many cuts already. Nothing really dire, but he had done a lot of trimming. Mm-hmm. So he took the movie back, sat on it for about a week, and then resent it without changing anything. MPAA wrote a letter back. Mr. Hitchcock, thank you for making the changes.
Oh my God.
So it's just kind of how it was, man. It was people were crazy about it. Psycho shower scene. Took 7 days to shoot. 17 setups, 52 shots, 52 cuts. My
favorite story is when we were watching it the other night.
Yeah.
And you're like, you see side titty there. Look, titty, look.
Oh yeah, the background of Janet Leigh when she's like her hand is reaching for the curtain.
Yeah, you're like, look,
and
titty,
the background it's blurred out, but you see two big nipples. Just like, I was like, look, titty.
Like, look, the titties.
I was like, I don't think they were Janet Leigh's though. They may have been the body double because Hitchcock had asked for a nude model to come in and be her stand-in.
Oh.
It was her body double. And Janet Leigh wasn't the body that Norman Bates pulls out of the bathtub.
Oh yeah.
It was a double.
Okay.
Anthony Perkins did not play Mother ever.
Yeah.
Except for the end,
obviously. Yeah.
But yeah, so pretty much it was always somebody else. So Anthony Perkins was never on set. When this was during the shower scene.
Right.
So, what's your favorite Psycho scene? Your favorite scene of the movie?
My favorite scene?
Yeah.
It might be a shower scene. However, I like the scene where it's that kind of crane shot where he goes up to the bedroom and tells Mother he's going to put her in the
fruit cellar? Yeah.
Because I remember that sticking out to me as a kid. And obviously I didn't know the ending or the twist or anything. And I remember thinking, why is she not moving? Because she's talking... She's saying, no, put me down, stop it.
And she's not moving.
But she's not struggling at all. And even as a little kid, I wondered that. So that scene always kind of sticks with me from that.
It's really well shot, though. It's really cool.
It really... And it's creepy, too. Especially if you don't know, you know? And yeah, because then you wonder, if she's so fragile she can't fight him, how on earth did she murder two people?
Right?
Yeah.
My favorite scene is the cleanup after the shower.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like him finding the body and then cleaning it up and then disposing the body, wrapping it in the shower curtain, putting it in the trunk of the car. That whole sequence I love. I just think it's so well shot. The music is perfect. Everything about that scene is perfection, in my opinion. And I'm a big fan of acting without talking. Like, I think real acting is not reciting lines, but just performing. Mm-hmm. And I just love that. I'm all about that stuff. So that is a prime example of the kind of stuff I really love. Just, that whole scene with no dialogue. Just really creepy mood music and just the action that's happening. It's a very horrific act that was just covered up. And the way everything about it is, like, perfect. So, I mean, that's my favorite scene in the movie. But yeah, I mean, there's so many things we can talk about with that movie. But there were sequels made. There were 3 additional films made: Psycho 2, Psycho 3, and then Psycho 4 at the beginning, which is apparently more of a prequel where we get to meet Norma.
And that's the only sequel that I've seen because it was on TV one time when I was a kid.
See, I've seen part 2, and it's interesting. It's not bad. It's not great, but it's not bad. Never saw 3. 4, I'm curious about.
4, he's like calling into a radio show because I don't remember, he's engaged or he's got a girlfriend or something. He's afraid he's gonna kill her or something. So he's telling, I think he's like telling the story of his childhood and his mother and their relationship and all that.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's been a very long time. And I don't remember how it resolved itself.
So you kind of want to watch them now. But then in 1998, I guess...
Magic happened. Where Gus Van Sant, it was just fresh off Good Will Hunting, went to Universal and wanted to remake Psycho. And the idea from day one, for some reason Universal went along with it. From day one, Gus Van Sant's whole philosophy was, if we're going to remake a movie, you remake it. You don't change it around and do anything different. You use the same script, you shoot it shot for shot, and you cast different modern actors. And it is not great. I'm not a fan of Gus Van Sant anyway. I haven't seen his entire filmography, but from the stuff I have seen, I'm just like, I get it.
Yeah.
But you're not for me. And I think that philosophy is stupid.
Right.
Because why would you just copy it? Then what's the point of watching it? You know what I mean?
Right.
But that's me.
Yeah, so it's just interesting. So what I was fascinating about was, I did see it when it first came out because I was curious because I already seen the original, but I was just like, why? I don't get it. Why would they? I don't know. The things I do like about the remake, though, believe it or not, there are things I actually like about it, which are, I love the cinematography, the color palette. It's really colorful, which is kind of strange, but interesting. I do like the set design, and I like Danny Elfman. It did the arrangement on the Bernard Herrmann score, and I just like what he did with it. I thought it was really cool. Now, and I've talked about it many times before on this show, Scream Factory, Shout Factory, they release Blu-ray special editions of movies with all kinds of bonus features. They released just this last week.
Yeah, I talked about this last week.
Oh, yeah, that's right. They did release Psycho on Blu-ray, so Tabitha purchased it. It came in this week, and we watched it. We watched it just to watch after watching the original, and then we watched it with the commentary. There's an all-new commentary with Rob Galuzzo, co-host of co-host of Shockwaves podcast, and editor for Blumhouse.com. So he also made the documentary Psycho Legacy. He's pretty much a Psycho expert. So Psycho Legacy is about the movies, the original, remake, and all the sequels. So, and it was before Bass Won't Tell had come out, so that's not a part of the documentary at all. But he moderated the Q&A, the commentary with the editor of Psycho, the remake of Psycho. And she had, that was like her first major gig. And she was pretty much has gone on to do a lot of other movies and TV, most notably Dexter. She was the main editor on Dexter. Mm-hmm. It's pretty awesome. But we're like, okay, she's going to talk about, a lot of the dirt, talk about, what went on when making the movie, what was hard about it, what was the point of a lot of stuff. Because we had questions. I was curious about a lot of stuff. Oh, yeah. And they definitely talk a lot about, what went on, what was why this decision was made, why that decision was made. Mm-hmm.
I liked her, though. She was very chill about the whole experience. Yeah. She's like, she understands that it didn't work, or that at least parts of it didn't work. Yeah. But she apparently had a really good experience doing it, which is cool. She said she learned a lot. She likes Gus, she respects him, and, she looks at it as just like a conceptual art piece that he did. Yeah, it was kind of like, it was just a $20 million art project, that's basically what it was. Yeah, so I liked her perspective, because she was like, because apparently, and she said she always loves talking about it, because he was saying he was having trouble finding someone who would do the commentary, because so many people who worked on it were reluctant to talk about. And she's like, I wonder why. I'm always happy to talk about it.
Wonder why. Well, everyone hates it, apparently.
I'm like, well, I bet most people are probably like, oh, no, I didn't do that.
Yeah.
I don't know how Gus Van Sant feels about it now, but I assume he had to have known what the general reaction was going to be. He's not stupid, Yeah. So I don't know how he feels about it or how the actors feel about it. at least one thing I find interesting about it is that even though they're using the same script and the dialogue is way out of date, people did not talk like that in the 90s anymore.
They altered a couple lines, but not by much.
Yeah, not enough. But I did like that some of the characters read a lot differently just because of the actors' choices, you know? Like Sam.
Robert Forster. Oh, okay. Yeah,
yeah, like Sam and the psychologist at the end.
Yeah.
And even Norman was kind of different.
Yeah.
Even with the same dialogue, Vince Vaughn played him differently.
Yeah.
And, you know, I liked that, you know, making it your own at least.
Anne Heche is so much more freaked out as Marion Crane. Like, when he takes her to, like, I don't know, it's funny, we're mocking it, like, just the idea of it. It's like how creepy it was.
Uh-huh.
And the original where, you know, or even the new one where, you know, she goes to the hotel and she's checking. It's like, well, you want to have dinner with me? I'm just going to make sandwiches and milk and, you know, on my house. She's like, okay, you know, fine. Then next thing she hears her mom is Norman and his mom yelling and arguing.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, oh, okay. And which you said, if you were in that position, you would have...
That's when I would have been gone. I've been
You're
like, okay.
Okay, this is crazy.
The rain had stopped by that point, so
yeah, I was like, I can get back on the road. I'm only 15 miles from Fairvale.
Exactly.
Might as well just get back on the road.
Going.
Yeah, but she doesn't. She stays. And he comes down with the tray, and she's like, oh, come to my room, we'll eat it. It's like, well, it might be nicer and warmer in the office. Okay? All right, whatever. So she follows him into the office. He's like, eating in an office is so officious. I have the parlor back here. And so it's like, okay, so let's go to the parlor. And you and I kept it going like,
we're like, you know, this
parlor is very parlicious. We should go down to the
dungeon down here. Yeah, it's
come into my torture room. You know,
right.
Like, Jesus.
You know, this dungeon, it's so wet. I have a torture room further down.
Then once she sits down, it's like, here, kind stranger, eat this food I made for you. You go ahead and eat it. I'm not having it.
I know that I'm not going to eat. I'm just going to watch you eat this totally not poisoned food.
And then, you know, we get all pervy with it's like you fuck like a bird.
You eat like a bird.
No, but I know.
Disgusting.
I just got pervy with it.
You're disgusting. Shame on you.
Bird's bone, man. That's funny. No, it's serious.
Oh, no, I didn't know that birds made it.
Well, obviously, but have you ever seen it?
Have I ever seen it?
Yeah.
I've seen them chase each other around. So
my mom has 2 cockatiels, and the way they would make, like, they made this really weird. The female would make this really weird, like, mating call, like, I'm horny, which is like, like, kind of weird sounding. I sound like a pigeon when I'm doing it.
It's called being Twitter-pated.
Well, yeah, she's clearly Twitter-pated. And then he basically gets on top of her, but see, the boy bird did not know how to get it in because he would just get on top of her, and then she would start walking around the cage, and he would stay on top. So it was like she's giving him a piggyback ride, and he'd walk around the cage. It was so funny. One time he finally did get it in, and you know he got it in because after he jumped off, he like kind of spread his wings like he was flexing and walking around the cage like that.
He's like, I'm a man now.
It is hilarious to watch. So that's why I was like, you fuck like a bird. Anyway, back to
this. But yeah, the thing, like you were saying, Anne Heche, whatever, playing it much more freaked out, kind of makes her actions make less sense.
Yeah, I was like, why would you stay?
Because she clearly is scared of him and doesn't think that he's right, so she goes back to a room that he has a key to and takes a shower. With Janet Leigh, I can understand, because she didn't really seem that scared by him, maybe a little put off, but she didn't seem like she thought
he was... there's only one moment, I think, where Janet Leigh is really, like, scared of him. She's like, it's like, we have a little mad sometimes. We have a little mad sometimes. Yes, haven't you? She's like, yes, well, sometimes one time it's enough. You know? Like, she's talking about her situation, but she's also clearly freaked out. And, you know, it's just, I don't know, it's awkward. It's creepy because it's like...
It is awkward because he's awkward. And
yeah. It's like, it went from casual conversation to like a really serious, in-depth personal conversation with someone you've barely known for like a few seconds. And, yeah, it's just bizarre.
Yeah.
You know? So, yeah. That's crazy.
So that I think made that scene make less sense, but whatever. But it's fine. You go with it. It's Psycho. It has to happen, obviously.
Right. And then and then Norman watches her to the people and he jacks off. So they talked about that too. It's like because of course Robert Luzzo was like, this is one of my favorite movies. I'm a psycho expert. Blah blah blah. But he doesn't say I'm a psycho expert, but he's like, this is one of my favorite movies. But I'm sure we all wonder why did this have to happen?
Yeah.
And she's like, well, I mean, it wasn't always going to happen.
Yeah, they said they shot it both ways.
Yeah, they shot it regular, but then it was also like, well, this is what it was. This is what it, because there's a lot. It goes into Norman. It goes about who he is and what he is. Now, I didn't know this, but in the book, he's got 3 personalities. He's got the little boy Norman, adult Norman, and mother. So he's got 3 personalities. Now, it's supposed to be a little innocent when he's like watching her. Yeah, it's creepy, but it's also just like innocence and curiosity, But him masturbating just makes it makes it very pervy, for one. For two, apparently this is supposed to launch into his arousal, is supposed to trigger his change to mother. So, I don't know, but they did try it both ways, and they're like, at the end it was like, it's 1998.
We can do it.
We can do it.
I like that he doesn't clean it up or anything. So
yeah, I think we talked about that.
Yeah, we're like, how many cum stains are on that floor?
And then, then right after, he sees the body. Then he does. Vince Vaughn does this thing where he sees the body. We know that part where he runs to the hotel room, goes to the bathroom, leans in, and then whips around.
Yeah.
And he covers his mouth, which he does in the original. In the remake, he's like,
yeah.
But he uses his jack-off hand, puts it over his mouth.
You're like, ew.
And oh, didn't you just come in that hand? And then he's like, ugh. And then he swallows. So it's like, oh, God. Oh. And I'm totally making fun of it because I'm like, well, that's what you get for being a perv. But
right. Yeah, for me, and that's just, everyone sees the character differently, that's fine. For me, it just didn't feel like something he would do, because Norman felt more innocent than that, I guess. Not that he wouldn't know.
He was a voyeur and a creep and innocent. He wasn't a pervert.
It seems like he wouldn't know what to do with the arousal he was feeling. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and he just masturbated. It was like, and Vince Vaughn did. I don't know. It's just kind of strange, just the way it looked.
Yeah.
And one thing that also bothers me about the cleanup scene in that one is. It's paced about the same as the original. Mm-hmm. It's definitely, the shower scene itself is definitely way more violent.
It's more violent. It's not as scary though.
It's not as scary, no, but it's definitely more violent. And for some reason, there are flashes of things.
Well, she was saying on the contrary
apparently it's like your life flashing before your eyes, but it wasn't always in there.
Yeah, because they were saying it wasn't playing for some reason.
Yeah, for some reason it wasn't playing, and I guess Vince Vaughn's like, put clouds in. Or something.
Because, sure, Gus, why not?
Yeah, because clouds, that's what you see before you die.
I guess.
Yeah, it was just strange. But one thing I noticed about the original, that and I was looking for it in this one too, is, like I said, the cleanup scene is my favorite scene. In the foreground, a good chunk of that scene is the newspaper with the money wrapped up. Now, because if you think about it, the movie, the story, is all about that money.
All the other characters think
all
so.
Of it
Norman's
is about
the only one who doesn't even know about the money.
So it's like when Norman's cleaning up, walking across the room and stuff, the camera's tracking him, but the rolled up newspaper with all the cash hidden in it is always in plain sight, in the frame, because that's the point. Now, in the remake, for it being shot for shot, they filter out the newspaper. It's in the same place. It's on the nightstand by the lamp next to the bed. That's where it belongs. It's in the right place, and they do it once or twice. It's in the shot, but every other time they pan around and move around, it's not in the frame at all. So it's kind of like, all right, it just kind of missed the point, for me, for that scene. Because we're watching this crime, but we're also thinking, remember, the money. Someone's going to come looking for that money, which means someone's going to come looking for Marion Crane.
Right.
Buddy, they're going to track her to you eventually.
Yeah.
So I just thought that was just fascinating. That was just always a trip for me. Something else I want to talk about really quick is I absolutely love Hitchcock's cameo in the remake. So in the original, Hitchcock is in the very second scene of the movie because he made that decision because he's, people always look for Hitchcock in movies. It's kind of become a game. So he's like, I better appear early in this one because I don't want to distract the story. So he's in the very second scene after Marianne leaves Sam in the hotel. She goes to work. There's a chubby guy wearing a cowboy hat standing outside the real estate office. That's Hitchcock. In the remake, they matched it. There is a fat guy in a suit wearing a cowboy hat. Except when the camera passes past him, there is a chubby guy in a suit with a cowboy hat, but he's pointing his finger at someone's chest, telling them off, and it's Gus Van Sant.
Yeah.
That is one of the coolest things ever. I noticed this way back when, like a long ass fucking time ago, and no one ever talked about it. I was like, no one ever talks about this. I've never met anyone that knew it. I was like, no one ever talks about this. Why? They talk about it in the commentary. I'm like, yes, good, they talk about it finally.
It is funny.
I'm not crazy. Because for a while I was like, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that's not Gus Van Sant. Maybe that it was just there to be there. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty positive that's Gus Van Sant, you know?
Yeah.
But no, that's what that was.
You know, one more thing about the shower scene that stuck out to me that bothered me.
Yes.
In the original, it's only for like a second, but she does make some attempt to fight him off, this person off.
Yeah.
That's not in the remake. I'm like, really?
It's more her just panicking.
Yeah, and in a movie where they actually let Lila kick Norman in the face at the end instead of just standing there, you'd think she could have at least, you know, done, I don't know, something, I guess. I don't know why it bothers me. I just noticed it, I guess.
I get it. I mean, it just goes to really show that movie did work for its time.
Yeah.
You can't do it now. I mean, there's a way you could update it and remake it and change things around,
yeah,
but then that defeated the purpose of the art experiment.
Right. No, I think there's ways you could go about remaking Psycho where it would be, it could be fine. Like Bates Motel basically has done that. I haven't seen the last season where they've done the Marion Crane story, but I am interested in it. I like Rihanna. So.
I mean, the editor was talking about like how many the issues of actually cutting this movie, because to get the timing right and make it match shot for shot is
impossible.
Hard.
Yeah.
It's impossible. Yeah, because the actors back then had the way of delivering it. But these actors have the exact same script, but you say different. Five different actors will read a script 5 different ways.
Yeah, she said very early, she goes, an actor has to be able to do their thing. You know, they can't act if they're worried about the timing, you know? Yeah. She goes, so it's inevitably going to be different. She goes, and that's when it started to fall apart.
Yeah, because, you're trying to cut it all together and make it match. It didn't work. There are things that they do that are different. There are jump cuts. There are, there's extra coverage on the scenes. The
church scene is not in there. I was just telling you that.
So I forgot about that, and you're absolutely right. After Norman carries Mother down the stairs and takes her to the fruit cellar, in the original cuts to the church where Sam and Lila talk to the sheriff and his wife about what they're supposed to do now. And they're like, well, file a missing persons report. Then like, well, let's go back to the motel. We got to find Norman's mother.
Yeah.
So tell us. Then it cuts to them in the car driving to the motel. So in this, Vince Vaughn is taking Mother down to the fruit cellar, and then it just cuts to the truck, the interior of the truck, and them driving to the motel.
Yeah, and when we watched it the other night, I thought, oh, maybe I missed it. And then we watched it again with commentary. I'm like, no, it's not in there. I
totally forgot. I did notice that.
Not before. That it's a great scene or anything, but for it being a shot for shot, I was wondering, but they didn't talk about it. I'm like, you cut an entire scene here.
Yeah. They also massively trimmed down the psychologist's explanation at the end. Robert Forster played the role, and he does a basic explanation of some of the things, and
I liked it much better.
Yeah,
actually, honestly, in the original, it's so very theatrical.
Yeah,
that guy is going for it.
He was jealous of her, so she's assuming he was pathologically jealous of him.
And Mother killed the girl.
Mother killed the girl.
I just wanted him to go, thank you.
Yeah,
but Robert Forster's just like, this is what happened. I guess.
He was never all Norman, but he was often only Mother.
Yeah.
These are crimes of bash and not profit.
Yeah, that seemed more like how a real psychologist would say that. Not get all like, spotlight, please.
Yeah.
Like the original guy, no offense to him or whatever, but it's so over the top, that monologue at the end. I did like the live birds in the remake next to Mother.
Yeah, so instead of a fruit cellar, it's like a live bird room, and then it's a taxidermy laboratory.
Yeah.
Which is kind of fascinating. It's a really creepy, cool place. And that really works for it. Pretty awesome.
Yeah, I liked that. That was cool.
Mother's hair was interesting. We talked about that, where in the original Mother's hair was like in a bun, old woman bun.
Uh-huh.
And this, it's more like platinum blonde and like hangs down to the shoulders.
It kind of gives you a different impression of who Norma might have been, you know?
And it's like, I don't know, like I guess modern older women, a lot of middle-aged women do dye their hair to, keep the young look. I know a lot of them that do. A lot of actresses do it now. So their hair doesn't go gray. They have this platinum blonde look that doesn't really work for them because they're older, but that's what they do. So I guess it kind of fit for that reason. But
yeah, but having said that, I was telling you this earlier. The cellar scene, the whole movie's obviously not as good, obviously. But the cellar scene at the end is not scary because I like the shot where the light is. After she's hit the light and it's moving, I like the shot of him running into the basement, and he's got that weird look on his face.
He's like kind of.
Yeah, he's got this horrible look on his face.
I never knew what Norman said or what Norman said.
Yeah, according to the captions on the DVD that we have, he says, "I'm Norma Bates."
Like, yeah, because I thought it was like, no, Norman. That's what I thought it was back in the day.
I always just thought he was saying Norman Bates. Yeah.
But apparently Norman says, "I'm Norma Bates."
Yeah.
So I was like, what?
Yeah. So, but yeah, in this one, you don't see Vince Vaughn come into the cellar. He just turns around and there he is, and he didn't have a particularly scary look on his face. So that was just kind of like
he just kind of strolls down to the basement and just kind of like does his thing, tilts his head a little, and holds the knife up.
Yeah.
And it's like,
but like I said, I did like that they at least like kick him in the face.
Yeah.
I'm like, she did something.
Which is interesting. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, do it. I mean, there's a lot of ways it could have played out. That's interesting, but yeah, they went that route with it.
Yeah, and I told you that this is a minor thing, but in the original it's just a light bulb, a naked light bulb hanging that she whacks with her hand.
Yeah, this one.
In this one, it's like a full lamp, so she whacks her hand on that metal part, and I'm like, ouch! Didn't that hurt?
And I always thought that Julianne Moore was really hot as Lila. And she has this really, like, I don't know.
She does look good in it.
She's kind of like an angry, I don't know, I said this jokingly. Didn't really think anything of it.
But then they confirmed it in the commentary.
Yeah, I was like she's even kind of angry lesbian-ish. And you're like, well, that's a really rude stereotype. I'm like, yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. I didn't mean anything by that. But I was just like, but she seems really angry and kind of butch. I don't know what it is. And I don't know.
I did not get that vibe at all.
The way she carried herself.
But yeah, apparently the commentary, they're like, no, apparently Julianne played her as a lesbian. I'm like, I honestly didn't get that.
And that's why another reason she was extra repulsed whenever Sam Loomis tried to touch her.
I just figured it was because, really, you're supposedly my sister's boyfriend, she's missing, and you're, like, feeling me up.
But apparently in the book and the other sequels, they get married.
Because, sure, that
Lila
seems
and Sam
healthy.
get married. I don't know, because that's how they roll, apparently. But
like, well, next best thing, I guess.
Yeah. Like, well, it's close enough.
But no, she's good in it. She is. Like I said, I did like the cast.
Yeah, it's got a decent cast, yeah.
I'm surprised that for it having such a good cast, I know Vince Vaughn didn't exactly have clout back then, but it's like, did nobody think this was a bad idea? And the cast.
Well,
did they all read the script and realize, hey, this is the exact same script?
Yeah, then there's, what do you call it, Universal, who I guess watch the dailies are like, well...
Yeah, apparently they didn't know what to say.
Yeah, they didn't know what to say. It's like, it's the same exact fucking thing. And
I'm guessing they wouldn't let you get away with that after that little experiment financially failed.
And it's true, they said this one time. This is the only time in history it has happened. It will never happen again. With how crazy Universal is about, risk-taking and everything... studios are very not into that stuff. So now more than ever, this will clearly never happen again.
Probably, I can't see a studio taking a risk like that.
They're not going to remake a movie shot for shot, same script. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah, and what I did not like.
Holy shit!
So shot for shot.
Wait, okay, it's not shot for shot. I'm sorry, I just thought of this right now. It's not really shot for shot. Some of it is. The Omen.
Is it?
The Omen did a remake. They used the same script.
Did they?
They used the same script. Yeah, they made it modern, but they did use the same script and the same format. I just thought about that.
Okay, I haven't seen either Omen as much to realize that.
Norman, it's all for you.
Look at me, Norman.
Look at Mother Norman. It's all for you.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the Omen, original or remake, so I didn't notice that.
Uh-huh.
But I think at the end of the day, Psycho is a morality tale.
Don't steal and
if
you won't
you
get killed in the bathtub.
$40,000, you will be murdered by a psycho while you're trying to take a shower.
If you steal $39,000, you are in the clear.
Then that's fine, yeah. But once you hit 40, it's over.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. And one thing I didn't get about either version?
Yeah, what's that?
When she trades in her car.
Imagine if it was that quick.
Well, the cop is sitting right there. He's watching her do this, so what's the point of her doing it, you know?
Yeah.
He sees what new car she's getting. It's only making her look worse.
Right.
So, yeah, whatever.
And I guess they said in the commentary too, and it's very true. James Remar played the cop in the remake, and he was perfect. His voice, everything about James Remar in that role was perfect. It was like he almost looked like the original actor.
He really did.
That played the cop. It was just like the glasses. It was as close as you could have gotten.
That was the one scene I thought really was where it felt to me like she was mimicking Janet Leigh.
Yeah.
Because she had kind of the same, I don't know, inflections, I guess, in that scene. Only in that scene, though.
Yeah.
That really felt like he was doing, do it more like she did it.
Yeah. Well, the last thing I want to talk about here, too, is the ending, where I do like what the remake did, which was when the cop is bringing Norman a blanket. In the original, it's like he opens the door and goes into the room. You don't see inside the room, but he gets to the blanket and you just hear a woman say, "Thank you." Mm-hmm. And he walks out. Then it just cuts to the end. In the remake, it goes into the room with Norman, and you don't see Norman. It's like a POV
shot, yeah.
And he puts a blanket, and he's walking away, you hear a woman go, "Thank you." And he just turns around and gives it like a look like, "What the fuck?" And
I know, the guard's like, "Whoa."
I love that. That is really cool. So
yeah, that was cool.
Yeah. I can't imagine what a remake of Psycho would be like. Even if now someone's like, "Let's do it again."
Well,
and I just can't imagine what...
We could watch the last season of Bates Motel and find out, I guess.
We should do that, because I am curious about it.
But I said this to you before, I'm like, I just can't imagine Freddie Highmore overpowering Rihanna. I really
apparently
can't.
Rihanna's crazy. Like, she throws down, choke it down.
I believe it. I believe that he would end up dead in that situation, but whatever. Whatever.
Hey, Rihanna, oh, just gonna save me shot. Oh, bitch, no, you not.
Well, he's so skinny.
Yeah.
And like lanky, and I don't know, but
I don't know. You get someone by surprise, though. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess
it is pretty vulnerable to catch someone in the shower.
That's true.
I mean, what do you do?
I don't know if this is true, but I read that Janet Leigh would only take baths after that. Did not take a shower the rest of her life.
I know.
Because it is true. Unless you're asleep, that's pretty much your most vulnerable time.
I got kind of screwed because when I was a kid, I saw my uncle made me watch Nightmare on Elm Street when I was 5. Mm-hmm. So I stopped taking baths because I was afraid Freddy was going to drown me.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So then when I saw Psycho, I'm like, well, I don't know how I feel about showers now. So
I was just switching from baths to showers at that age.
So you went back to baths.
Yeah, my mom was not happy.
Yeah.
She's like, "Oh my god." But no, I would make her sit in there with me while I would take my shower. I'm only 6, so it's fine. But yeah,
I usually...
I can only imagine if I had seen Nightmare on Elm Street right after that.
Yeah.
Then I just wouldn't have bathed, period.
Well, I mean, I had to bathe.
Right.
So I then started locking the bathroom door. Mm-hmm. Even if I'm home alone, I lock the bathroom door half the time.
Oh, I do too.
Usually some people at home you're by yourself. Go to the bathroom door, but no, I close the door and I lock it.
Heck yeah.
Even if I'm alone, I'm not expecting anybody.
Yeah.
I'm still gonna lock it because it's just like, you never know. But
well, even so, even if just somebody else who lives there comes home, I don't want them walking in on me like that.
Exactly. But well, I mean, let's do some closing thoughts here. That hour flew by.
Yeah.
Wow. I think we spent a lot of time talking about...
Is it your favorite Hitchcock movie?
Oh, gosh. Yeah, it probably is. But, see, sometimes I'll say Rear Window is.
Yeah, Rear Window is great.
I don't know. I think the definitive Hitchcock movie is Rear Window. A lot of people say it's Vertigo. Fuck that. No.
I do not like Vertigo.
Rear Window is a perfect example of what a Hitchcock film is and should be.
Uh-huh.
I think Rear Window is a definitive Hitchcock movie. I think Psycho is Hitchcock at his best. Mm-hmm. I think it is his best movie. I think The Birds is his most ambitious film.
Yes, I would agree with that.
Well, here's the thing. It's hard to say Hitchcock's best film or him at his best. Mm-hmm. I don't know. It's hard. It's just two different things, I think. Because, I don't know, his best film? Best film? Mm-hmm. I don't know. It might be somewhere between Notorious and Rebecca, I think, maybe.
Well, Rebecca's my favorite Hitchcock film.
Yeah,
Love
it's
it.
really good. But
The movie's just dripping with mood, and that's what I love about it.
There's so much going on in Rebecca visually and technologically. It's pretty great.
Mm-hmm.
Notorious is just... No, Notorious is not. It's probably Rebecca, maybe. It might be his best film altogether.
Mm-hmm.
Shadow of a Doubt is pretty damn great. I only saw that recently for the first time.
Yeah, and I missed the ending. I fell asleep.
Oh, okay.
But I was enjoying it until that.
Yeah, it's just... What's crazy is Shadow of a Doubt is cited by Hitchcock for being his favorite film that he's ever made.
Mm-hmm. And
you see why. It's very intimate. It's all in performance. Very much like Rebecca, in the sense that Rebecca is all in performance. It is a gothic story, but it's all in performance. Like that part where the maid is telling her, like, jump and kill yourself, without saying jump and kill yourself.
Yeah,
it's so creepy.
So good.
And it's so strong.
Mm-hmm.
Shadow of a Doubt's the same way. It's a manipulation game, and it's so well done.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
But there's so much going on with Psycho, man. There's just so much in that movie that's just, like, amazing to... look at. It's his most watchable movie. Like I can watch a lot of Hitchcock movies, and some of them we can get through easier than others. Some of them, like, they're just old, they're slow. It's like, but Psycho
moves along pretty well.
I could watch it over and over. It's the most watchable Hitchcock film, I feel, my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
That's just me. Other people may feel differently. Other people swear by Vertigo. I do not. I'm not a Vertigo fan at all.
I hate Vertigo.
Like I don't know. I just don't see what the fascination. There is a lot of crap going on with it. There's good visual stuff in it. Jimmy Stewart is interesting to watch as always, but I just don't identify with that movie.
I just hate the characters. I hate them all so much. And sometimes I can watch a movie where I hate the characters. Not that one.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't care about anything that's going on because I hate all of you.
Yeah.
You're terrible people.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like there's so many things that, like, there's not a lot of humor in Psycho.
No.
Which is why I don't think Psycho is a definitive Hitchcock movie.
Mm-hmm.
Hitchcock had a very dark sense of humor, and it popped out in a lot of his films, most notably in Rear Window. There's some really great moments of, like, really funny stuff going on.
Oh, because of all the neighbors.
Yeah, all the neighbors, exactly. And then the voyeurism, which is like a running theme through a lot of his movies. People tend to watch other people in his films, and The Birds.
That movie even kind of ends on a joke.
Yeah.
Rear Window does.
Yeah, it does. And, like, there's just a lot of that stuff going on. But then there's a murder mystery aspect, and then the macabre aspect of cleaning up a body. How would he have done it? And, you know, and then you see it, and then the I don't know, there's suspense. It's just, there's so much going on in that movie. It shows what he can do and what he does. Like, it's perfect in that aspect. Psycho is just, it's just a masterpiece. It's just, it was the first of its kind. It was very violent, very dark, but it wasn't gratuitous violence.
Right, that's
it's
true.
It's done with skill.
That's trany
And there's so many firsts in that movie. Like, it's just the first of its kind. It's pretty amazing, and people, like, it's on I've never met a person that says Psycho is overrated. It's not. I mean, without Psycho, there'd be so many things now that would not be possible or would not have happened.
Yeah.
It paved the way for a lot of things. So it's a truly incredible movie. I love it. Everyone should see it. It should be filmmaking 101. When I meet a filmmaker that has never seen Psycho, I'm kind of blown away, because that is definitely a must-see movie. Everyone's like, Citizen Kane, Gone with the Wind, Intolerance. Those are the movies Birth of a Nation. Those are the movies you watch. No, I think every filmmaker should watch Psycho.
No, I agree with that.
I just think that's 101, man. Like, you should watch that movie. But yeah, all in all, I mean, I think it's pretty incredible. I love it. I think it's, you know, it was fascinating that they did remake it. Although the remake wasn't good, it's still fascinating that they tried.
Yeah.
And it is interesting, the fact that they wanted to do an art experiment. It was a waste of time and money, I think.
But it's still something to watch.
It was still interesting to look at.
The first time I watched it, I'm just kind of like sitting there dumbfounded at what I'm watching.
But, and I mean, it is interesting to see the Bates Motel in modern day. You know, like, and everything else in modern day. But
yeah, it's definitely had a lasting legacy.
Yeah.
What with the sequels, the remake, and the TV show that just ended,
So the question is, what's next?
What's next?
Robert, there is a new Psycho book.
Oh, really?
Came out last year. It's called Psycho Sanitarium. It was about Norman Bates in the mental facility.
Interesting.
Apparently, it's really good. It's really interesting. But yeah. So, Tabby, any final thoughts or any closing remarks?
If you haven't seen Psycho, we just spoiled everything. You should still watch it anyway.
Yeah, no, it's just worth a watch, man. It's so good. See it on the big screen if you can. It's really an experience to watch on the big screen. Even the original, like, you just get sucked back into time, and it just feels, it works. It works so well, even now. I mean, obviously it's not modern. Clearly it's a movie made from the 60s, but it's still intriguing as shit to look at.
Yeah.
So, you know, definitely see it on the big screen if you can. Watch it just in general if you can. Pretty great. But, well, guys, that's going to wrap it up this week for this week's episode of Cinetroverts. We are, like I said, we do want to talk, we are going to have some guests on the show at some point soon, hopefully. Baby's coming. We are, by the time this airs, we will be 5 weeks.
Yep.
And counting. Final countdown. It's the final countdown. Our son's coming, man. It's really exciting. Our little Cinetrovert. But yeah, we're going to try to backlog some episodes soon, hopefully. So if we get busy, we can just throw one on the air. There are people that we want to get on the show to not only interview, but just partake in discussions with us. Some people that work in the industry that are just going to be fascinating to just talk to and hear their stories. You know, we are the Cinetroverts and they are the extroverts. So it'd be interesting to hear people that work in movies that get out of their house and do stuff. It's fascinating. I don't know. I like hearing the stories. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for listening. Thanks for coming back, and we'll see you next week with an all-new episode of Cinetroverts.
Bye, guys.
Bye.